So we're approaching the end of the year, and that means one thing for Yu-Gi-Oh fans: Jump Festa is coming. Now, what is Jump Festa? It is basically a convention where all the Shonen Jump properties like Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball, One Piece, My Hero Academia, that kind of thing, all come together to share news, information with the fans, sell new products, announce things. And last year, we had a pretty decent showing for Yu-Gi-Oh, right? We of course had the digital title announced, the Master Duel, that was just kind of teased. For Duel Links, we had the Blue Eyes Alternative Anniversary Rewards announced, but the Structure Deck 2 to kind of, hold us off until the middle of January, right? And so last year as well, the full schedule wasn't announced until like 5 days before, so this year I expect the same, no full schedule announced, with the Duel Opera Virtual, which was like Yugi vs Kaiba in a VR environment. That's pretty cool. We're seeing all of this at Jump Festa on the 18th and 19th. No confirmed like dates as to when certain things are happening, but according to Konami's own little bit on the site, we're getting, of course, OCG news, we're getting Master Duel news, we're getting Cross Duel news, we're getting Rush Duel stuff, all that kind of good stuff. Now, if you go down here, there's this paragraph here that tells you what we're getting, basically. And as translated by myself over on Master Duel's site, my Twitter account that follows all the Master Duel news, we're getting an online program with Duel Links, Master Duel, Cross Duel, and OC and Rush Duel news, as well as in-person demos for Master Duel, Cross Duel, and Rush Duel for Switch. Which, of course, the in-person trial thing isn't as important, but there's media there, you can get new footage like we had for TGS, Tokyo Game Show, and so a lot could come out of this. Now, I don't expect all of these 4 things here to be in the same program. Last year, they split OCG and Duel Links into one program, and Rush Duel into its own. This year, I could kind of see the same happening, but I could kind of see them going OCG and Rush Duel together, and then lumping all the games together. We'll have to wait and see. They might do separate things, right? Because Cross Duel technically hasn't been shown off publicly. When you think about it, it's been a private, closed demo. There was no embargo on actual content made from it, but in terms of Konami officially kind of showing it off, they haven't actually shown anything off, right? They've not shown a single official screenshot of that game yet. So so yeah. Now, what do I think we'll get from Jump Festa, right? Let's go Duel Links first of all. I think it's kind of safe to assume we're going to have a very similar time to last year, where we'll get the 5th anniversary announced, right? And everyone's kind of expecting it to be Yugi themed, with Dark Magician stuff and a Dark Magician structure deck, which I think would make sense, but I don't think that will happen. For some reason. And it's kind of those things where, like, Dark Magician is still on the ban list, right? Rod is on the ban list, and so whilst Rod and Navigation are both at 3, I don't think they'll want to kind of bring out a structure deck like this that was for the grand majority of it, it was reprinting, somewhat expensive cards and making them cheaper, making them more easily available. And so Dark Magician, whilst it can do that, it's not a deck that's as expensive as Blue Eyes is, right? Blue Eyes, you had to go into a main box afterwards, right? Dark Magician doesn't really have that at all. It has 2 cards in boxes, that's it. 2 cards. 2 cards. The rest of them are already via a structure deck in the Master of Chaos structure deck. So I don't think we'll see a Dark Magician in that. I think it'll be something different, like maybe Galaxy Eyes could fit quite nicely. It's a, Zexal is very popular in Japan. It wouldn't surprise me if it was Galaxy Eyes. But 5th anniversary stuff, a fancy, if they are going to give us a Dark Magician something, a fancy Dark Magician Dark Dimensions Legend artwork, right? Something to hold us over, to give us Dark Magician players some copium for the future, and of course gems, that kind of thing. Though, the big thing, of course, then Cross Duel. Big thing, Cross Duel. I don't think we'll get a release date. I really don't. I think they're going to show off the game that's going to be a little bit different than how we saw it. Maybe it runs better, right? It looks a bit better. I think the overall speed of the game might increase a bit, because I think that's what people in the surveys were very adamant about. So I'd hope there's some improvements there for Cross Duel, because I really enjoyed it, right, as is, and if it's just sped up a little bit, it just makes those games not last 20 minutes, but maybe last 15 minutes, and that's a lot easier to kind of digest when you're out and about for a mobile game. You don't really want to be spending 15 minutes in one single play session, right? In a Duel Links duel, it's like, what, 4 to 6 minutes, right, on average, really? So you don't really want to be spending almost 3 times that time for one single duel. And of course, the big thing is Master Duel. Now, I think everyone here right now, if I was to go check this Twitter account, they'd all be saying, release date. Please, please, please give us the release date. And I want that too, more than anything, right? But I think we'll get it. I think the timing makes sense. The only thing that makes me a bit wary of it, right, is that Konami have liked with their games to give you about a 3 or 4 week heads up on when they're coming out. Especially from the English side, right? So if you remember back to Jump Festa in 2019, we had the update for Link Evolution announced for PS4, Xbox One, PC, and there was no date with that. But then we got the date of March 25th back on March 3rd, so there was a 2 or 3 month-ish wait between that, then the announcement of release date, then release about 3 weeks later. The same thing just happened for Rush Duel, with the English release date for the Switch, right? We're getting that on December 7th, that was announced like 3 days ago. So again, a 2.5, 3 week period for that kind of announcement. So if this is the case, then if they were to do the same thing here, then potentially Master launches in January, right? Which would be insane, right? Launch on January 21st, right? My birthday, that'd be great. Thank you, Konami. Early birthday present, that'd be great. But I think it's going to come in like late February, if not early March. I think they're going to try and push it out as much as possible, make sure the quality is as high as possible, and then release it alongside, like just before the release of Dawn of Battle Chaos, I think it is, the set that has Blue Eyes damage support in, so they can kind of they can market it as a OCG game, right, TCG game, and then still kind of cash in on the Yugi Kaiba DM fanboy crowd by saying day one, you can play with these brand new cards in it from those characters. So I think that's what they'll do with it. But in terms of new announcements, I think we'll get a brand new mode. I'm hoping it's draft. I think there's more than one mode we haven't seen yet for PvP, which would be pretty cool. And I think they'll show us card crafting. I don't think they'll show us the shop, right? They won't say how much things cost, because why would you in an announcement, right? You want things to be positive, uplifting, and so I think they'll show us card crafting and maybe some like challenges to unlock some of your pets or whatever, or your accessories, your cosmetics. But I think they'll give us a little hint as to what we want, but won't give us the full story, which of course we'll find out in the weeks afterwards as Konami do host, you know, preview events and eventually show off the game or make it playable to us. I don't think we're getting a beta. I think it being a console game as well as a mobile game, I think in my mind makes me think that they're thinking it's very different from Duel Links and Cross Duel, so we don't need a beta. It's on console, it's gone through QA already. It should be as up to spec performance-wise as possible to go through certification for those platforms, so they won't need a beta. I think that's kind of how they'll look at it, and so I think it'll just be, you know, release date, a brand new mode, a look at crafting, and just in general, more of the Tokyo Game Show stuff, a bit more well presented, a bit more cut down. And so yeah, that's kind of my predictions. Of course, they're not very out of their predictions, right? I don't think we'll see a brand new game, right? You know, I think people are always kind of wanting a brand new game or an anime, right? And we still might get the anime, which we won't, because you know, Rush Duel and Sevens is going on. But we should get a schedule for what they're doing in mid-December, right? A few days before the event, they'll say, okay, here's everything happening. And then we'll know, do I need to stay up till 5 AM again, probably, to cover the Master Duel news and the Cross Duel news and whatever we have for Rush Duel and all these kind of different things. But anyway, thanks for watching. Let me down below what you want to see from Master when it does, you know, when this news drops, what do you want to see out of the event, and if possible, I'll try and stream it. Because I might be dead tired, but it's going to be, hopefully, very, very hype. So thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next Duel Links, Rush Duel, Master Duel, Cross Duel video. See you then.